I believe we are nearing another bull market. We've been in an inflationary bear market because the Fed fund rate has been increasing, which has been increasing the value of the US dollar, which has been putting pressure on the bottom lines of companies, banks, anything that uses the dollar, the consumer. It's been putting a lot of pressure on that. If you agree with that sentiment, and I think a lot of people do, then you would also agree that as the Fed fund rate comes down, that should be good for turning this inflationary bear market back over into a bull market, correct? Well, the current Fed fund futures rate predicts a 25 basis point increase in both the meeting we have tomorrow and the next meeting we have in about a month and a half from now. But after those meetings coming in the summer of 2023, the current Fed fund futures expects the Fed fund interest rate to start coming down. As I said in the intro, if you do believe the sentiment that we are in an inflationary market created by the rising interest rates, then you should be bullish seeing those futures pricing in interest rate declines. It's important to keep in mind that these are just forecasts. If these forecasts change, of course, the opinion goes out the window, right? So I will link this website in the description down below. As long as you guys promise to like the video and subscribe to the channel, you all can use this link and keep an eye on these forecasts for yourself to kind of see how we're getting along. It's also important to keep an eye on the dollar index. I'm using Thinkorswim. It's accessed differently through different brokerages, but in Thinkorswim, if you type in $DXY, $Delta X-ray Yankee into your ticker symbol, you can see the dollar index, and you can see what I'm talking about. From the start of 2022, the value of the dollar has risen as the interest rates have risen. But you will see of late, with inflation coming down, with the Fed slowing in interest rate rises, it has sort of lost this really strong uptrend and has been dumping off pretty hard, actually, which has coincided quite well with a decent little bounce here in the equity markets, which I believe that can continue. And if I do believe that the equity market can continue up from here, my job as a YouTuber is to bring you all value from that. And I'm going to do that by giving you all the 5 stocks I would look to buy during this moment in time. And actually, I posted a video on September 14th, 2022, obviously, just 6 months ago, and it's going to be those same 5 stocks. We can look at where they are since I posted that video, and I like to stick to my guns. I made a video about what stocks to buy during the bear market. I'm going to stick to my guns. We're still in the bear market right now, although I do think we can come out of it, but I'm going to stick to those 5 stocks. So the first stock that I had suggested is WTS, Watts Water Technologies. Now, when I laid out these stocks, I laid out the reasons to buy stocks during bear markets, and that is having evergreen business models, having low amounts of debt, and having high amounts of cash. Well, WTS, Watts Water Technologies, quite obviously has an evergreen business model, right? People aren't going to stop using water or needing water just because the equity market's going down, right? Just because the S&P 500's in a bear market, they're going to continue using water. It shouldn't affect the bottom line of this company too much, right? And they also had a very decent cash to debt ratio. Well, on September 14th, when I posted my initial video, Watts Water Technology, WTS, was trading in the 129s, went to a high in the 180s, currently settling at 163, but still, that is a pretty darn good entrance from the 129s, if I can brag and stroke my own ego a little bit. But I'm going to stick with it. I'm sticking to my guns. I said these were good buys before. I think all 5 of these stocks are still good buys. It's still important to be looking at evergreen stocks that have low debt and high cash because, like I said at the beginning, we are very much not guaranteed. Oh my God, Trey made a video that he thinks the bull market's back. I'm buying everything. We're definitely going back up. There's no such thing as a guarantee. I could very easily be wrong. So it's still kind of as we're teetering here on the equity market and with the Fed funds potentially coming down, according to forecast, you still want to be looking for relatively safe investments. And I think WTS and the other 4 stocks I'm about to give you are still that. I also went over Monster Beverage Corp, which is currently trading at highs in the 103s. But on September 14th, when I posted the initial video, this is just fun to look at. It was trading in the 88s. It was trading around $88 or in the 88s, $89 on September 14th, now trading at 103. Once again, another good call. Good job, Trey. Stroke my own ego. But once again, just like the last one, I'm going to stick with it. It's still a evergreen stock, right? People aren't going to stop buying Monster beverages because the equity market's down. Oh man, the S&P 500's too low. I can't buy my Monster on the way to the gym today or whatever. They're still going to keep buying Monster beverages, right? And honestly, this stock, if you all ever seen the picture, I'll actually paste it here above my head now. I'll find it in post. But the picture that shows Monster beverages since its inception versus Apple, Monster beverages, this stock has like greatly outperformed Apple, which everybody sees as like the number 1 stock in the stock market, the best stock to own, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Monster has been a great stock for years and years. And I called in September, I think it'd be a good buy during a bear market. And now when we're potentially forecasted to lower interest rates, I think it's still a good buy. MNST, Mike, November, Sierra, Tango. The third stock was WTM. This is a precious metals, and I was really hyped on precious metals during the bear market because, as I explained at the beginning, we're in an inflationary bear market where the value of the dollar was heavily increased. As the value of the dollar increases, it takes away from precious metals, correct? The value of the dollar is directly, maybe not directly is maybe not the right word, but pretty related to the price of precious metals. And as I thought the value of the dollar was going to drop off on September 14th, this stock was trading in the low 30s, $31. This stock was trading on September 14th. It's now trading at $45. So a very, very nice bounce on this one. And it all has to do with the exact reasons I was talking about on September 14th when I made that video. The dollar index was up here. The dollar index was flying. And I forecasted, hey, this is not sustainable. Eventually, the Fed is going to have to get this dollar under control, or else you're going to see more than just the small regional banks we're seeing maybe potentially collapsing now. Things are going to get out of control. This is unsustainable. I really like buying precious metals. I think it's an evergreen company. Precious metals will always be around. The valuations will always fluctuate. And 2, as the dollar index comes down, precious metals will go up. They have done so. I believe they can continue to do so. WPM Whiskey Papa Mike is my what am we on now? I think that's third pick of the 5 that I'm giving you all today. Fourth was Google. Now, Google on September 14th, I was a little early on this one, but it is Google. On September 14th, Google was trading at about $100. It is now trading at 104. So not as good of a move up as the other ones. Did go to a low of 85. But my job is not to call the exact bottom on these moves, right? It's still Google, and you still got a chance to buy Google at a really, really nice price point down here in the hundreds, and you're still in the hundreds. I think you're still buying Google at a great price point. Google is an evergreen business model. They're not going anywhere. There is increasing competition. I'm sure you guys have heard of ChatGPT, OpenAI. Microsoft is buying or at least investing into OpenAI. They're bringing a lot more strength to their search engines. So there is increasing competition in this advertising space. But why I really like Google, they have a ton, and I mean a ton of cash versus their debt. If the markets continue to get worse, Google is going to be the company that's there ready to acquire other failing businesses. They have so much money. That's why I like to buy them in September. That's why I still like to buy them now. And the final 5th stock is Exxon Mobil. In September, this was trading at roughly the mid 90s, call it $93. Now trading was up to 119, now trading at 106. So a decent little move here in Exxon as well. But the energy sector has been strong for a long time. There's no reason to bet against strength, right? while the trend is there, ride the trend. Energy's been extremely strong. Exxon is an evergreen company. They're going to continue providing energy, even if we do continue to move away from coal and oil. If we move more towards this electric stuff, Exxon's still going to be there. They're still going to be a leading provider of energy. They're a giant company, have a ton of cash, not a lot of debt, still like Exxon moving forward as well. So those are my 5 picks for buying what could be turning into a bull market. Now, remember, this is all just forecasted. In no way am I saying we have entered a bull market. The stock market's going to be at 500 by the end of the year. No way am I saying that. But according to the current forecast of the Fed futures rate and the type of market that I believe us to be in, I think it is very plausible that we are turning this bear market into a bull market, and those are the 5 stocks I will be keeping a very close eye on. Make sure you like the video if you did enjoy. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign out of this video. I will catch you all in the next one.